Hey everybody, Thomas here. It's been a little bit since I did a sawmill video from up here in Wisconsin, and I do apologize. We've had a lot of stuff going on. We had the trip down to Tennessee, the sawmill show, family vacation type stuff, followed by got back to work, had to go to Mayport, Florida for a week, followed by putting up all the fencing up here, which is nearly done. You can see some of the fencing there in the background there, but yeah, we are getting some stuff done here on the farm. And today we actually had rain. We have not had rain, it feels like, in like 2 months, but we finally had some rain. So all the logs are nice and wet now, and the bark is all over the place, but that's okay. That's okay. Today we're doing a couple things. First and foremost, we're going to show kind of like the computer and everything, and why a sawmill with an advanced computer set works, such as the Timberking 2020, or others that have that too, how it's really a time saver, lifesaver. What you see right here, this is some white cedar. I cut this yesterday. We had some friends over for the 4th of July, and we were looking at this, and I said, hey, let's go ahead and cut up a log real quick. All these right here, these 8 slabs right here, or boards if you will, these were all cut at 5/8 inch thickness. And that repetitiveness there is absolutely amazing when you have a computer set works. One thing I did notice on those cuts though, as you can see right here, I was getting some rip out. So you see all this coming off here, and I checked my blade. The blade I was running had dulled on me, and that blade did hit a nail, I believe, but it really wasn't marking up bad at all. It just had some raised hairs, if you will. Now, white cedar is a very dry wood, and sometimes you'll get that from that. And there's a few other species out there. You don't get that from red cedar. Red cedar is not like this. Western cedar would be like this. And then poplar. Poplar can actually, on the tail end side, you'll get a lot of these hairs that rip off here. But that's a good indication that possibly your blade is dull. So we went ahead and changed out the blades. And when I was going over here looking at my blade pile, I'm like, you know what? There's a blade that I have not shown yet. I've talked about it, but let's go ahead and throw it on the mill. This is a blade from Southeast Metals, and we're doing a little test with it. I want to talk about this blade some more at the end. But this is a blade from Germany. This blade right here is not really intended for hardwood cutting. It should perform very well in softwood. And my dad has run this blade before, and I believe he said his numbers were roughly between 1,100 to 1,200 board foot. This is 1 inch diameter, or 1 inch thickness, excuse me, pine. He was cutting southern yellow pine and everything. And he cut between 1,100 and 1,200 board foot on one blade. And then after that, he had a blade dip or dive on him, and he went ahead and changed it out after that. Robert and Howard down there in southern Mississippi, they went ahead and sharpened that blade up. And my dad's going to be running that blade again here later on, to kind of give me an update on that as well. But I figured, well, it's really good for softwoods. I have a great softwood right here, this white cedar. Now, Annie, you're going to bust your butt, girl. I can see it happening. No, I'm not, Daddy. I'm really good at this. It's like surfing. Yeah, and now Susie's gonna try to get up there too and show off. But yeah, I've been really anxious to try this blade out and everything, see how she cuts up. And also with that, we're still running the BioLube. The BioLube will be our lubrication that we're gonna be using on this. Woo, doggy. Annie, Susie, I think y'all should probably get down. But anyways, we've been running the BioLube stuff. It's been doing great and everything, and I got to do a more thorough review on that because literally I've had that in my tank since the wintertime. Since the wintertime, it is now July 5th, but since the wintertime that has been running, and I've literally gone down maybe about that much since I started running it, so not a whole lot. I've been very happy with it, and I have plenty more in there. Have not had to run any more diesel or water and such. Let's go ahead and get these doggies off here. The intent is we're gonna go ahead and cut up all these boards right here, again, into 5/8 inch thickness. Okay, folks, before we do anything, let's go ahead and verify what the blade is actually set at. So we verified between the teeth and everything. She's reading 0 right there. So now we're gonna go over here, this tooth, reading about, looks like 24 or so thousandths. We'll go do another tooth. Hopefully I'm still in frame. And that's about 20, 24, 23. I can't really see from that angle too well. And we're going to go ahead and turn her around And we're going to go ahead and check. Again, check between the teeth right here. She's still reading 0, so that means we haven't changed anything. Let's go ahead and measure an up tooth. Looks to be, that's about 23 thousandths. We'll measure another up tooth. Let's go ahead and do this one right here. Hopefully still in frame. That one's about 22 thousandths. One more for giggles right here. And it's about 23 thousandths. So somewhere between, say, 22 to 24 thousandths is a set, and that's what we're going to use as one of our measuring indications there. Okay folks, we've cut quite a few of these 5/8 inch thickness boards so far. They look really cool. I've actually never done so many live edge pieces like this for a job, but that actually looks really cool. I'm anxious to see what this looks like. But we're gonna go ahead and get this the first 3 sides off, or actually the first 2 sides, and then the third side we'll actually start using the computer to kind of you know, cut it down from there. So we'll keep this here just for a second so you can see this real time. The blade's performing very well. So far, no issues whatsoever. The cut quality is looking great. So let's go ahead and slab this up a little bit, or take off those flitches, those rounded edges and everything. Then I'll take it back to the computer and we'll show you kind of how it's all done. Okay, we've done our first few cuts. I'm going to try to show you from this angle right here. I've got the blade slightly above the log. I'm going to go ahead and set return. So the green light comes on right there. You see reset position set, or return position set, excuse me. I'm going to auto saw down until I'm into enough meat on the board. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut through it. Both things now. I'm going to bring up my saw head manually because it's faster to bring it up manually than if you do auto up. Bring her back again. And then once they clear the log, auto saw down. And go back into the log again. It's so easy, I don't even have to think about it. I just hit these buttons and every single time within a 1/16 of an inch accuracy. Just make sure I don't hit any metal on my sawmill, aka the log dog or the log stops. I don't care how smart your mill is, you can still cut it to pieces. Oh, there you have it. So let's go ahead and look at what we cut up. Okay, folks, there you have it. I think there's like 44 or so pieces in here. Now, this one right here was cut with an old blade. Now, I wanted to show you kind of the difference in cut quality. So this is the last log that I just took off. See if I can show between here. You can see how much of this wood structure here is raised up compared to this. Much better cut quality on the new blade than the old blade that was dull and everything. That's something to look for if you're cutting cedar, like white cedar or western cedar. Once you start ripping out a whole lot like that, it's probably time to go ahead and change that blade out. So yeah, I'll have to calculate the board footage here, or actually, excuse me, the square footage of what this blade's run so far. I think the customer's gonna be very happy with this. It looks really, really cool. I mean, just the way I laid it here on the tractor, on the tractor forks, I think it just looks awesome. I'm very anxious to see how this looks in his shop and his storefront that he's putting up. The blade itself, again, it's running very well. Let's see. Oh yeah, nice and sharp still, takes off the fingernail and everything. The blade looks great. The drip system's working phenomenal. I've got really no complaints there. And also, as you saw, the drip system, since I'm not putting a whole lot of moisture into there, I'm not getting any buildup into my exhaust right there for my sawdust. You can still see light out there and everything. The only thing that would cause some buildup is whenever some of the bark pieces and stuff flew off. And I think that was early on the second or third log. I had a few pieces that blew off and got stuck into the exhaust chute over there. And I stopped the sawmill for a second, opened it up. But for the most part, I left that blade running the entire time, as you saw me removing the wood from the backside of the sawmill. And it's just something I'm trying out, see if I can minimize the amount I have to use that clutch or anything. But yeah, very happy with thus far. I'm going to take this down to the neighbor's house and hopefully he'll be happy with it as well. All right, please like, subscribe. We'll see you around, and we'll come back later and continue testing this blade here to see what she'll cut up, and we'll do a video later when this is all said and done, put up in my buddy's shop. It's going to look awesome. All right, see you around. Thanks.